Hi, Fred Dawson here with ScreenPlays magazine, and we have an opportunity to look at something that is pretty revolutionary, which is, I guess, part magic, part software, and part genius. And for the genius part, we have John Carlucci, who's the CTO of Alticast. John, thanks a lot for taking some time to tell us about what we're going to discover here, which is the HDMI stick.
That's
and,
right.
And what that means to the television services of the future. Why don't you just give us a brief explanation of what this is?
Sure, I'm happy to do that, Fred. Thanks. Well, sometimes the big things come in small packages. So the HDMI stick is a device that fits in the palm of my hand that is a new device for delivering the TV experience. And it's a new classification that takes advantage of mobility, miniaturization, and wireless capability. So as you can see in this compact package, it has an HDMI port, so I can just plug it directly into the back of the TV set. And when I do that, it provides the display for the TV set and really does a brain transplant and brings the smart TV and navigation capability contained within this device into the television. So let me
To do that though, you've got to have some kind of connection to the outer world. That's a Wi-Fi antenna in there somewhere?
That's right. This uses a Wi-Fi capability, and that's how we tie into the home network. And that can tie us either to a gateway in the home or all the way back to the cloud. So we're pushing more and more intelligence into the cloud as well as storage. So that allows for the smarts in this device to leverage the compute capability going on in the cloud in order to enhance that user experience and allow the consumer to enjoy new video services.
And that's where Alticast comes in. You're making all this happen with your software.
That's right. Our software, both on the server side as well as on the device side, is bringing that magic as we move from a world that was very centralized to a world that is a distributed computing environment. Also, our consumers are enjoying the experiences not just on the TV, but on many different devices, many different screens.
And this would work on an IP set-top as well as a connected TV.
Yes, we can bring that intelligence to a variety of different devices. So I can plug this into the TV via the HDMI, but I can also use the USB port to plug into any USB-capable device and then take over that screen.
Wow.
As well.
Well, let's have a look.
Thank you, Fred. Let me show you what's going on the user interface here. So what we've done is taken this HDMI stick and stuck it into the back of this television set, and it brings all the TV smarts of the video service provider experience onto this. In this case, it's our customer in Korea's user experience, which is a very interactive experience with rich graphics that's been created in HTML5 JavaScript. So this application is talking back through the cloud to receive all the information that's displayed to the user here. So that really helps us reduce the required complexity that needs to go into this device while providing an extremely satisfying user experience. But not only can this device support the video service provider content, it can also allow the consumer to get to the content provided by either direct-to-consumer video offerings or user-generated content. So in this case, we'll go to Netflix and we'll launch a Netflix application. So here it's gone and connected once again across that cloud into the webosphere, and it's bringing that Netflix user experience right onto this device. So from a consumer, they can be enjoying their video service provider content, but they can also be enjoying the direct-to-consumer content that they have access to, all from this extremely compact package. And this compact package can go with them. So we can go and plug the USB side of it into their PC, and they can enjoy from the network those same video services on their PC. It can also contain their identity, so there's no login that they have to go through as they go from the device to device. It knows that my name is John, it knows what shows I like, it can make recommendations, it knows my preferred settings. So there's really a lot of power packed into this, but also it allows this device to tap into the power of the grid computing and virtualized server-side systems that we've created. So here we'll exit out of the Netflix application, and once again, we drop right back into the video service provider experience. It's really that easy for the consumer to get access to all the different types of content they want to use in this small package.
Well, John, I have to admit, I see a lot of things going on all the time, but this is pretty amazing, especially knowing that what it implies is that all of this talk and all this effort around migration and how you do it and all the stuff that you have to go to in terms of changing out the set tops and trying out all these things, this opens up possibilities where, okay, maybe you do need to put some kind of thing in there to connect to the old TV, but that doesn't have to be a new gateway. It just has to be a little $50 IP converter box, a pass-through box of some kind, and you're off to the races with a next generation service.
Yeah, no, I think that's right, Fred. That what the paradigm has changed. So now you're looking to access the services that are remote. So the intelligence that used to reside in the device, can now reside in the cloud. You still need some smarts and some magic in the device so that it can connect to it and take advantage of that. And then the other part of it is from personalization point of view, this can go with me, and I can have content stored on this, and I can enjoy it either tethered or untethered, depending on my particular needs. So I think in terms of not only delivering the services we have now as operators to our consumers, but also just kind of reimagining the television experience that is made possible because of this miniaturization.
Right, and so what your software is doing in the cloud is creating a next generation user interface. It's bringing together all these applications we've been talking about and making possible personalization and all those things in the cloud using a very, very low cost means of getting it out there on a highly scalable basis.
Yeah, that's right. By doing this stuff in the cloud, we can take advantage of grid computing and virtualization, technologies that we know how to scale and how to make very reliable, and we can tap into those and do it at better economies than we've had for rolling out our services in the past. But not only achieve better economies, but achieve better levels of user satisfaction. And rather than my experience being siloed to just one set-top box, I can get to many connected devices, many different locations, and this device is a big contributor to that. So as we look at, for instance, the remote server storage, that I don't have to have a large hard drive in this device because I have that large hard drive located in the cloud, and I can access that large hard drive from anywhere. And rather than being concerned if I lose this, my large disk drive goes away, or if accidentally my dog chews it, then I still have access to that content. I would just get another device and still be able to access it, whether it's from this device or from my tablet. Or
now, how you mentioned you've got some of your software running on the device. How does that happen? Do you work with the individual manufacturers to create that interface and integrate it with the chip?
Yeah, that's right. We work with the hardware manufacturers and the system-on-a-chip vendors, but we try to coalesce around different industry standard libraries for doing this, so that it allows for the bring up to go much more quickly, so that we can go from rather than taking several years to go from initial concept to something that's commercially deployed. By leveraging some standard APIs for marrying up the software, it allows us to do that on a much shorter cycle, where we're looking to go from initial concept to something that's commercially deployed in 6 months, which was unimaginable before. So that comes from using those standardized interfaces, and it also comes from reducing to some extent the amount of unique software that has to be on this device, because it's sharing a lot of software that's already in the cloud.
So the operator would be the one probably to drive this into the home. In other words, as part of a service to those users that have smart TVs, or in the case of adding an IP set-top box, giving people access to this next tier of service that's done through the cloud. But it becomes a way in which the operator isn't spending a lot of money on CPE, but is driving it by having purchased the CPE.
Yeah, now the operator can bring this to market, by purchasing it, and obviously they've done a good job of providing that complete experience, to the consumer by providing the device. At the same time, on an international basis, we have been delivering hardware in conjunction with our hardware partners through retail channels. So, for instance, in Canada and other international markets, there's already a retail established relationship, so the consumer can go and buy this.
So they know they're buying something that works with a specific service provider.
Exactly, it'll work with a specific service provider. And one of the elements of the smart software in here is it's very agile in terms of changing the service provider. So the cloud can download the right instance of software after identifying what network it's on. So if you happen to migrate from one geography to another and your provider of video services changes, you can still use the same device to engage with that new operator.
Now, of course, this being HDMI, we have the security thing handled.
Yeah, on the output side, HDMI handles it through the HDCP, but also there's also the need to protect the content on its way into the device.
Right.
So in that case, we use DRM technology in order to do that. We have our DRM system is pre-integrated into this, so that as the content comes across the network into this device, it is secured, and we're taking care of the important needs of our content provider partners, who are really an important part of this ecosystem. Additionally, as this goes mobile, and I stick it in my pocket and run around, it's stored. The content on here is stored in a protected mode. So once again, we preserve the integrity and robustness of the security system.
Well, this is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it penetrates in the marketplace. But we're going to be seeing some very different kinds of TV services in the near future, I would assume.
It's an exciting time. This time of disruption is, the web and video converge, and this is just another important step along the way in that disruption.
Yeah, John, thank you so much.
Thank you.